Are the Detroit Lions getting ready for training camp? And as we get closer to training camp, I think one area is being completely overlooked. And Dan Campbell, Brad Holmes said, this is our team. Our team is our offensive line. Now, the offensive line, really good players, but there's one player in particular that everybody on the offensive or everybody around the league just like respects. And actually, we've got like 4 of those guys, which is pretty cool. But one really important move this offseason was look, I mean, we've got Penei Sewell, everybody knows, stud. Frank Ragnow, stud. Taylor Decker, love that guy. But the Lions lost Jonah Jackson, key piece, but they immediately replace him with Kevin Zeitler. Zeitler is a power run blocking dude, right guard. He's older, but he was really good with the Browns, really good with the Ravens, and now he wants to do one more run, and he's got it in him to do it with the Lions and make a Super Bowl run. Why is this so important? Again, because we've talked about the offensive line being important. Everybody wants a good offensive line, but for the Lions, it's especially important because we have Jared Goff, who's not mobile, can't move around. He's got to get good protection. When he does get good protection, he's outstanding. So Zeitler, we're going to get into him in just a second, but this article is interesting. It talked about the Lions offensive line. And for a minute there, the offensive line was like, ooh, this is the heartbeat of our team. Brad Holmes said it himself. This is our team. So when the Lions lost Jonah Jackson, it was like, oh boy, okay, because we're thin at the interior offensive line. But you start kind of breaking it down, you can see who the Lions have. It's like, okay, here's the most likely top 5 reserves. So I'm going to get back to Zeitler in just a second. But the reserves is really important because Colby Swordstall, who the Lions got last year in the 5th round. You know, again, and I step back for a second. We're all excited about the new players, Terrion Arnold's. We're all excited about our young core, but there's these depth guys that are going from year 1 to year 2 or year 2 to year 3. Those are really, really important and can't be missed because Swordstall, okay, didn't really see the action last year, a little bit. Right here, he saw the field on offense in 5 games, starting 2 games at left guard. Remember how it was just like, ooh, man, and he was doing some things, and it was just like, come on, he's not there quite yet. And you see the difference. You see the difference between a really good offensive lineman and one that's like, okay, he's not quite there, but he's going to be, and so we need him. Dan Skipper. While Skipper didn't start a game in 2023, he was active on offense in 13 games. Skipper did start 5 games for the Lions in 22. He's 6'9". He's supposed to be a tackle, but he's been doing a lot of guard. The poor guy is just, I say poor guy. I mean, shoot, he's probably made a decent career, but he's bounced all over the place. He's right on the fringe constantly of getting cut, practice squad, moving somewhere else. So it'll be interesting to see what Dan Skipper does. Owasika is another guy that, can he be the guy that we need? Can he be the guy? Because again, and I keep talking about it and people get mad at me, but it's fine. Frank Ragnow, we know the injury history. We know it's going to be difficult for him to play every game. So it's like, okay, we need to find these guys. Christian Mahogany, here's the one that we love. The final pick of the 2024 draft for the Lions, Mahogany was considered a high value selection. Yeah, it was like crazy that he was there. So we have Mahogany. This is really good. Left guard, right guard. This is great because now we've got Graham Glasgow who could slide into center if we need him. Giovanni Manu. Everyone's just pretty much seen him and said he's not going to see the field this year. So, right. So it's kind of crazy. And you got to be careful too, because if you can't just release him, someone else could pick him up. You can't just put him on the practice squad. Somebody could take him from the practice squad to their active roster. So maybe you just kind of stash him on the practice squad. Maybe nobody will pick him up. But we'll go back to Zeitler for a second. This was an article about a guy that covered Zeitler for many years. And one of the things that I loved about it was even on a winless Browns team in 2017, Zeitler had only 2 bad games. And so here's a rock solid guy that is going to be, he talks about it in here, how he's boring to watch. He does everything right. He's strong. He's physical. He has unwavering reliability. He was a first pick out of the draft and first a first round pick out of Wisconsin in 2012. He's 34 years old now, but he's at NFL game ready right out of the box. He's consistent. He's strong. He's smart. He's a road grader type player. Everything the Lions want. So yes, do you get older with your offensive line? Yes, but you lose a key piece in Jonah Jackson, who's a young, dynamic player, and immediately you fill it with a great player. So the Lions' offensive line is stacked, and now what you've got when you have a stacked offensive line, you got thunder and lightning at the running back position, crazy. You got Jared Goff throwing the ball. The offense is going to run and steer the team, and it's like, well, there we go. Now, speaking of another player that is just crazy, the Detroit Lions. Frank Ragnow is the best center in the NFL. So I love this article. We're talking about Zeitler. He's a stud. But like Frank Ragnow, it's crazy. It's crazy to have the best center in the NFL. Probably the best tackle or top two or Penei Sewell. So I think Frank Ragnow knows what's in front of him, and that is the opportunity to be a Super Bowl champion, which is just crazy. I mean, so I love it. I love that. And I think it's going to be exactly what is going to fuel him in 2024. So expectations heading into 23. Remember this. He's the man. They're going to be awesome. Let's go. But he had some injuries, some inoperable. Week after week, still meeting or exceeding those lofty expectations. Coming off his second Pro Bowl season, Ragnow had to be blah, blah, blah. It's like, okay, what's he going to do in 2023? And if you remember, he had 15 games, 15 starts, had to come out, death taxes, and Frank Ragnow playing up to a standard, all you can count on. Remember him going toe-to-toe with Vita Vea after being rolled up early in the game and spraining both of his knees and ankle. And after that, remember him still doing this on a crucial fourth down. Reynolds was in the game. Remember that? It was like crazy. Right up the gut. That's when I think he got rolled up on again. Everyone's like, this dude's just a warrior, man. He's been through it. He's been through it personally. He's been through it with us, the team. This guy's a warrior. And there was never a doubt when he got banged up today, he's just going to keep playing, keep fighting, because it seems like he's always fighting through pain all the time. And so nationally, folks started to notice Ragnow for being tough as nails. We don't have a toughness metric, but Ragnow would be at the top, is what people were just starting to say. And it's just all over the place. Everybody was loving it. And check this out here. This is oh shoot. All right. It's not going to let me do it. That's fine. I won't go into it. All right. So again, you get the point. Frank Ragnow's awesome. Lions offensive line is set. It's set. It's the offense is going to carry us. The defense is much improved. Let's go. Let's see you in the Super Bowl. I can't wait. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and we'll see all of you on the next one.